Skip and Loafer is an anime that so far has been really good to watch. I had a lot of expectations going into the series and it has lived up to all of them. The manga has been on my radar for a long time, so when I saw it was getting an anime, I knew I had to watch it. Skip and Loafer surprisingly covers a lot of really interesting themes in a great way, like discovering dreams and purpose. Although we are still in the early stages of this anime, the series has already started to open up to its main themes of having its characters discover their purpose in life. Mitsumi travels all the way to Tokyo from her tiny little town to get the best education possible to achieve her dream of making her hometown prosperous again. Her dream is a grand one, but it isn't one that is framed as impossible. Shima, the main guy, is struggling to find what he wants to do in life. He has a past of doing things for others, which I want to talk about more later, but that has led to him not really knowing what to do with his life. So he actually looks up to Mitsumi, and you can see that with how quickly he opens up to her. Of course, this will eventually lead to a romance between the two, but right now it is more of an admiration on his part as she seemingly has her life all put together, at least in his eyes. Discovering dreams and purpose is an important part of everyone's lives, especially when you enter high school, because those are your last years of freedom before you start the hell that is either joining the workforce or going through college. You need to make sure you are truly passionate about something, otherwise it could lead to regret, which is something this series talks about as well. It doesn't explore it too much, at least not yet, but you can tell that Shima has a past that he regrets, so finding Mitsumi has ended up helping him to discover new dreams and a new purpose in life. What little we know about Shima's backstory has me really interested in his future. Shima is someone who is a child actor, and a talented one at that, but it wasn't something that he ever wanted to do. That was his mother's dream. He did it anyway, but eventually it wore him down and he had to stop. Now, he is struggling to hide his past and discover what he really wants to do in the future, like I already mentioned, and honestly, his character is really interesting and is one I want to explore more. Discovering who you are is always one of my favorite themes to explore, and this series does it not only through Mitsumi, but through Shima and the other side characters as well, which makes me really appreciate this series so much more than I would have before if the series was a traditional rom-com. The importance of connections is something that I don't think a lot of anime show off very well, but I think Skip and Loafer does. Mitsumi is traveling to a whole new place where she doesn't know anybody or anything really. So she has to form connections with her classmates who teach her all about life in Tokyo. Friendship is an important part of life, and I'm glad that this series doesn't make it seem like it's super easy to make friends. Like sure, Mitsumi made friends literally day one, but she also has some people who are wary of her and some people who outright dislike her. But even through the new friends that she has made, she still has a hard time opening up to them as her childhood was very different from theirs, and a lot of them went to the same middle school, so they already know each other and are closer. Skip and Loafer does a really good job at showing how important connections to different people can be, whether it be friendship, a lover, family, or even just someone you look up to. All of these connections play an important role in the story and make everything come together really nicely. You should always try to live your life to the fullest. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but not everyone does or really can. But this series goes over this topic really well by having characters constantly challenge themselves to do new things in this series. Now, I'm talking about this like this series takes it seriously when it doesn't take it too seriously and oftentimes plays it off for comedy. But I think they should absolutely still be talked about as an important thing the series talks about. The series explores the fact that you should never get hung up on things that you don't like or things that really don't matter in the long term. Mitsumi is constantly trying new things in the show, from going to karaoke for the first time to trying to live life by a strict schedule to fit as much as she can into one day, or even just joining the student council. All of these things are new to her. Now, she was president at her old school, but she has said throughout the series multiple times that her school had like 8 other kids, so it doesn't really count as anything important. Her constantly trying new things and gaining new experiences is something that I feel like a lot of people should strive to do. I know that's easier said than done as people easily fall into routines, but it is still a good ideal to have and one that I absolutely would love to follow one day if I can get over my anime addiction. Mitsumi also inspires the other characters around her like Shima and this girl named Kurume. Inspiring people to live their lives to the fullest while just being yourself is something that not a lot of people could pull off, so it's awesome to see that put into a character even if it's often played off for comedic moments. Nervousness. How do you deal with it? Well, that is something we see explored in Skip and Loafer, although it is comedic most of the time. There are a lot of characters who get nervous over various things, whether it be the start of a new life in a big city or trying to make friends, whatever it is. This series doesn't shy away from showing how difficult it can be for a lot of characters to deal with nervousness. Nervousness is an emotion that can help drive people forward. It is a necessary emotion to let people know that something may be scary, but it is still worth trying. Because if it was true fear, you would know. The nervousness is often played off for comedic effect, like when Kurume talks to Mitsumi for the first time in front of the student council room. You can see how nervous Kurume is, but it is played off for a comedic effect that doesn't take away from what the character is feeling, but just helps to make the series much more enjoyable and less dramatic, and honestly better. There are a lot of good characters in this anime. Mitsumi is an awesome main character who has a bright and bubbly personality who always knows how to make any situation better. She is also very clumsy, which makes for some really comedic moments as she stumbles her way through life. Shima is a more complex character who we have yet to explore all that much, with a darker backstory but a lovable personality. Of course, besides just the main duo, there's a lot of other great characters in this anime. Like all of Mitsumi's friends, Yuzaki is someone who is very clearly put in a place where a lot of people look at her with either admiration or disdain just because she's pretty. But what makes her character stand out is her personality. She doesn't take shit from anybody and is actually a pretty nice person who never looks down on other people. Mika is a girl who at first doesn't like Mitsumi because she is close to Shima, who she likes. But through Mitsumi being herself and being very naive and ignorant, she is able to deal with Mika's schemes, and eventually Mika, at least right now, is slowly starting to open up more to Mitsumi and the others around her. Hi, it's me from the future. I just wanted to add that after watching episode 5, Mika has really started to grow on me. I love the way they are developing her, and the enemy to best friend trope is in full swing. I also love that we are finally starting to get a peek at her backstory and her insecurities. It has made her a way better character for sure. Kurame is a girl who joins the student council alongside Mitsumi, but she has a hard time opening up to people and talking to them, so at first she is wary of Mitsumi, someone who is very quickly able to make friends in a new environment and boldly states her dreams day one of class. But as she starts talking to Mitsumi and the others, her personality really starts to shine through and she starts to make real friends, which is something awesome to see. There's also Fumino, who is a childhood friend of Mitsumi and is always there supporting her and helping her out by giving her advice and things, and really just being a good friend for Mitsumi to still talk to. Narumi is an eccentric character from the drama club. He keeps pushing Mitsumi to try to get Shima to join the drama club, but not in a bad way. He just comes off as the overly excited, passionate type who makes for a lot of comedic moments throughout the series. Those are the main side characters, but there are also some other minor characters that play an important role for a little bit, like Tokiko or Naochan. Naochan is really cool for being someone who is very clearly open-minded about a lot of things given who they are, but they are also someone who is a very close family member that Mitsumi can rely on while living in an unfamiliar place. There are a vast amount of characters with varying personalities that make the series really fun to watch, as each one of them interact with each other in different ways, making everything feel way more fun, open, and interesting. Mitsumi and Shima are like super cute together. Even though there has been almost no development on the romance front, as of this moment the interactions between the two are super cute. Every time they're on screen together, it is the best parts of the episode for sure. Their relationship is slowly building into something more, and I absolutely love to see it develop. I can't wait to see where the relationship is going to go in the end, but before I get to the end, I am just going to enjoy the wholesomeness that comes along with them. Skip and Loafer is an anime that surprised me. I knew it was going to be good, but this good was not something I expected. This anime is very cute, funny, and very wholesome. There's so much the series does right to make it stand out, and if you're looking for a romance anime that stands out above most of the others, then this series might just be for you. So give it a go if you haven't watched it yet.